It's officially June, and while the school year may be over for some, the postseason is still going strong across the Naperville area. Welcome to episode 37 of Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. Every highlight in this week's show features winner-go-home stakes, plus a trip to the boys track and field state finals, where one local athlete made history with a record-breaking performance. Let's give you that highlight, and then we'll check on our girls soccer teams in the sectional final. We are at Eastern Illinois University for the IHSA 3A Boys Track and Field State Championships, where dozens of schools from across Illinois, including Naperville Central, Neuqua Valley, Waubonsie Valley, Bennett Academy, and Naperville North, compete for state glory. Let's start at the sand pit. Neuqua Valley's Daniel Robinson, coming off a sectional title, leaps 6.90 meters. That lands him in 8th place in the state. Stealing the spotlight is Naperville Central junior Zolan Terry. After a 3rd place finish at sectionals, Terry soars with a jump of 7.07 meters, claiming the IHSA long jump state title. In the high jump, Waubonsie Valley's Ishmaya Elliott clears 1.88 meters, tying for 14th with Yorkville's Taylor Clements. The champion in this event is Makai Nelson from Proviso West, who clears 2.05 meters to take home first place. On the track, Naperville Central's Lucas Probst gets the 4x800 started in the second pack. But it's Downers Grove North, Will Surratt, John Courtney, Grant Schroeder, and Philip Kupiol taking first with a state record time of 7 minutes and 36.40 seconds, beating out Sandberg's 2016 mark. Central squad, which also includes Patrick Clune, Derek Williamson, and Manny Nahara, finishes strong in 3rd place. In the 4x100, Cooper McGinnis gets things started for Neuqua Valley, but it's Homewood Flossmoor's team, Joaquin Jordan, Charles Dees, Mile Ellis, and Zion Morrison crossing first with a blazing time of 41 seconds. Running in the 3,200 meter run are Bennett's Finn Richards and Neuqua's Jesse Gudaskis. About midway through the event, it's Ben Crane of New Trier High School keeping pace while leading the runners through this race, while Richards is still keeping in pace from behind. In the last stretch of the 2 mile, it's senior Ben Crane coming down the final stretch to bring home the win with a time of 8 minutes and 57.13 seconds. Neuqua's Jesse Gudaskis takes 22nd. The hurdles are up for the 110. Neuqua's Cooper McGinnis is in the mix, but it's a Belleville battle at the top. Jalen Cole of Belleville West wins it with a time of 13.82 seconds, edging Dalen Donaldson of Belleville East by just 0.09 seconds. McGinnis takes 4th. Neuqua's Daniel Robinson returns for the 100-meter dash, but it's William Landwehr of New Trier taking the crown in 10.24 seconds. Zion Morrison of Homewood Flossmoor and Clayton Lakatos of Edwardsville round out the top 3. Naperville North's Edward Mumford runs a solid race in the 300 hurdles, staying in the mix throughout. Amari Williams of Wheaton Warrenville South finishes with a personal best time of 36.94 seconds to win it. Mumford earns all-state honors in 7th. In the mile, Naperville Central's Patrick Clune keeps pace early. Frem's Rory Gain leads about halfway through, but it's Tommy Nitz of Huntley who powers down the stretch to win it at 4 minutes and 16.24 seconds. Clune grabs 3rd, about 2 seconds behind. The final race of the day, the 4x400. David Garza leads off for Neuqua Valley, and the Wildcats keep it tight throughout. But it's Evanston's team of Deshaun Priester, Amari Christian, Anthony Harone, and Dallas Amos finishing with a school best 3 minutes and 17.73 seconds. Neuqua's team, which also includes Rajon Anthony, Edward Mason, and Avery Smith, placed 3rd with a school best time of 3 minutes and 18.84 seconds. At the end of an exciting championship, it's New Trier High School claiming the state title. Naperville Central finishes in 8th, with Neuqua Valley close behind in 12th.
This girls soccer sectional semifinal features the top 2 DVC teams going to war on the pitch. Naperville Central comes into this contest fresh off a regional final win over Lockport and has its eyes set on a second straight trip to the sectional final. In their way is the team responsible for their lone loss of the season in Neuqua Valley. The Wildcats beat the Red Hawks back on April 8th and look for their first trip to the sectional final since 2015 when they finished as the 3A runner-up. Early on, Bella Brozek lines up for a corner kick. She targets Emerson Burke, whose header finds the hands of Quinn Sagol, who makes the save in traffic. Next time around for the Hawks, Becca Ruggiero finds an open gap. Yet again, Sagol stands her ground to prevent the Birds from scoring. Neuqua flips the field looking to score. Alessandro Russo dribbles, but Eleanor Kane remains in a defensive lockdown and eventually forces the ball to bounce off of Russo, and the Red Hawks make the stop. Russo tries the free kick that lands into a sea of red. The Red Hawks and Natalie Leash cleared the area, and both teams go into halftime scoreless. Out of the half, the Wildcats get a favorable spark. Caitlin Kane kicks to Alexis May, finds the open window, and the strike works to perfection to give the Wildcats a 1-0 lead, not even 4 minutes into the second half. Red Hawks get a free kick with Burke, but it sails too high over the net. Red Hawks try again with Malia Shen until the Wildcats' second half goalie Liz Freed steps into position for another save. Late in the game, Callie Tumulty gets the ball and begins her transition. She aims for the left side, but puts too much hot sauce on the strike. The Wildcats' strong defensive performance helps them to a 1-0 sectional semifinal win over the Red Hawks and move on to the sectional final, where they'll face Naperville North on Friday.
It's time for a girls soccer sectional semifinal between 8-seed Bennett Academy and 4-seed Naperville North. The Red Wings come in off a penalty kick win against top-seeded Mattia Valley, while North took down Oswego 1-0. The winner of this one moves on to the sectional final against Neuqua Valley. We kick off with a Husky free kick, and senior Emily Buscher locates Claire to cook for the shot, but it's saved by Red Wing goalie Giada McGlynn. 12 minutes in, and we're still scoreless. The Huskies have been great this season off their set pieces, and Abby Penn has been the mastermind on the corner kicks. She sends it into the box, where Kennedy Birch guides home the opening goal. Bennett's awarded a free kick off a Husky foul. Ivana Vuka sends one towards goal, but Olivia Oshner comes up with a save for North. The Huskies look to get something going off another free kick. Buscher sends one deep into the box, and McGlynn easily comes down with it for Bennett. We head into the break with the Huskies still in front, 1-0. The second half begins with a Husky throw-in as Penn finds the cook, who muscles in towards the box before McGlynn comes charging off her line to deny the goal. Lauren Pera charges down the left wing for North, and she gets fouled inside the box. It gives the Huskies a penalty shot, where the cook takes it and smashes it down the middle. North takes a 2-0 lead with 30 minutes left in the game. The Huskies are in full control of the second half as Alexa Surdick volleys it to Pera, who makes a nifty move around a Red Wing defender. The sophomore takes possession inside the box, cuts inside, and fires one into the bottom left corner. A great solo effort to put this one away. North takes it 3-0 and moves on to play Neuqua Valley in the sectional final on Friday night. Four-seed Naperville North hosts the sectional final against 3-seed Neuqua Valley. A spot in the Super Sectionals against Wheaton-Warrenville South is on the line. North enters off a comfortable 3-0 win over Bennett, while the Wildcats beat Naperville Central for a second time this year. In the regular season meeting, Selma Larby scored a late goal to lift Neuqua past North. 8 minutes in, and Haley Linden sends a ball into the box for Neuqua, but North defender Lucy Fitzgerald is there to clear it out twice. She denies the Wildcats. Selma Larby has possession for Nequa and sends one over the top to Alexis May, but North is ready for it as Olivia Oxner comes out of the box for the clearance. Addison Gusky now sends one into the box for the Cats, where North's Kennedy Birch heads it away. Larby battles through the Husky defense, sets up a shot for Alessandra Russo, but it's blocked by Emily Bisher. 20 minutes in and we're still scoreless. Husky Claire to Cook flicks one over a defender and is off towards the goal. She heads down the right and tries to curl one in, but Nequa goalie Quinn Segal makes the save. North has a corner, and like we've seen all year, Abby Penn sends in a nice cross to the box. Birch heads one across to the Cook, who volleys it past the Wildcats. A nice set piece from the Huskies, and they lead 1-0 with 14 minutes left in the opening half. The Huskies are on the attack again. Catherine Rohr sends one up to the Cook, who uses a nice first touch to break free. She crosses one to a dangerous spot, where Linden is there to make the clearance for Nequa. After halftime, the Wildcats put in their second half goalie, Elizabeth Freed, and she immediately gets involved by clearing it away. Now 3 minutes into the second, Gusky throws it into Larby, who makes a move inside the box and crosses it, but Penn is there to erase the chance. Gusky sets up another Wildcat opportunity. The cross finds the foot of May, who does well to break free for a curling shot, but Oxner rises up and holds on for a nice save. Nequa's on the corner kick, and Russo swings it out to the box. The ball's cleared right to the foot of Cindy Michalak, who uses 2 touches and fires a roller into the bottom left corner. The Wildcats tie it up at 1 with 25 minutes left in the second half. 2 minutes later, Husky Alexa Sertic volleys one first time over the top to the Cook. The junior forward gets a shot off, but Freed makes a nice stop to keep it deadlocked at 1. Bisher sends in a free kick, and it's a nice one, but Freed does even better with a great catch in traffic. 9 minutes left in the second, and Russo sends one to the back post. Larby is there, but she can't guide her header on target. Bisher is up again on the free kick, and she sends it in, where the ball deflects off the arm of a Wildcat. A tough break for Nequa as North is awarded a penalty, and Claire de Cook steps up to the spot. She sees the keeper go left and sends the shot low right for the winner. North holds on in the final 3 minutes and wins its first sectional title since 2021. The Huskies are back in action on Tuesday night in the Super Sectional against Wheaton Warrenville South. When we return, let's swing the action over to the baseball diamonds, where some of our local teams battled for regional titles.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
The import tariff is here, but at Fair Oaks Ford, we'll help you beat the tariff with a large selection of American-made in-stock vehicles right now. For a limited time, lock in pre-tariff pricing on select new Ford models and save thousands. From America, for America. And right now, we're offering employee pricing for all. You pay what we pay. Now that's what we call fair. Don't miss your chance to beat the tariff at Fair Oaks Ford in Naperville.
Baseball regionals swing into action as DVC foes Waubonsie Valley and Naperville Central go head-to-head in the semifinals. This is the 5th meeting between both ball clubs this season, with the Warriors victorious in each game. The Warriors are the visitors on the scoreboard, but Hiroshi Wong doesn't care who's home or away, as long as he's getting on base, and he does so with this double. Bases are juiced, so Danny McGuigan knows what to do. He hits a shot right into fair territory, and all the base runners on board are clear to come home. It's 3-0 Warriors after the RBI double from McGuigan. Pitcher Owen Roberts feeds off the momentum as he gets a punch-out on Colin Hay to prevent opposing momentum. In the third inning, Joe Chuba hopes to help the Hawks with a base hit into shallow left field. Roberts keeps his cool and sends another batter back to the dugout. Roberts throws 10 punch-outs in the game. McGuigan steps up and rips a laser into right center. McGuigan with 4 RBIs in the game as Josh Hong represents one of the runs, giving the Warriors a 6-0 lead. Casey Cooper-Kawa is eager to get a rally going in the 5th inning, and it looks promising with this base hit. Here's Troy Cashel, who chops into a fielder's choice, but thanks to a misfire at first, Cooper-Kawa crosses the plate for the run, but the Hawks still have some work to do, down 6-1. 7-1 Warriors, and Roberts puts it away by throwing to Connor Barron at first, and that's the ball game. Roberts with a complete game to help Waubonsie Valley punch its ticket to the regional final, where they'll face West Aurora.
Bennett Academy and Glenbard South square off at Canelan High School in a regional semifinal. The Red Wings come in winners of 2 straight, including a 10-3 win over Moline. The Raiders ride a 3-game win streak of their own, most recently shutting out Elmwood Park 11-0. These two met back on April 16th when Bennett rolled to a 13-2 win. Bennett sends ace Jake Reifenberg on the mounds, and the southpaw makes an immediate impact. He picks up 2 strikeouts in the first inning, 1 swinging and 1 looking to end the frame. Reifenberg keeps rolling in the second. He strikes out the first 2 batters swinging, and after a hit by pitch puts a runner on, he racks up his 5th K in just 2 innings. Glenbard South's Tommy Burke is on the bump and catches the outside edge for a strike at the knees. He racks up 5 strikeouts on the day, and we remain scoreless through 2. Top of the third, and Reifenberg is still in control. He gets 2 more strikeouts, one with a filthy curveball and another up in the zone. That's 7 Ks through 3 and no hits allowed. Nate Siraki gets Bennett going in the bottom half with a single. Then Merrick Sullivan follows with one of his own, 2 on, no outs for the Red Wings. However, Burke gets a strikeout looking before catcher Nicky Loapra steps up big. First, he guns down a runner trying to steal third. Then he tracks a foul ball down the third baseline and makes a great catch to end the inning. Still 0-0 after 3. Reifenberg adds 2 more Ks in the 4th, but Glenbard South finally breaks up the no-hitter with a single from Tim Ewald. Now with 2 outs and 2 on, Evan Bogu lines one to right, but Luke Wilds is there to make the catch, and it prevents 2 runs from scoring in the 4th. Bottom 5, and Bennett loads the bases with no outs. Dom Tamala, Siraki, and Sullivan all reached via walk or a hit by pitch. Wilds lifts a sac fly to left, and Luke Doyle, pinch running for Tamala, scores the game's first run. Next up is Josh Gagora. He drops one in shallow center between 3 Raiders. Siraki comes home, and Bennett leads 2-0. Moments later, Sullivan would score on a pass ball. Now here's Ethan Mendez with a big swing. He crushes one to deep left, and it's gone. The senior shortstop launches a 3-run homer, and the Red Wings now lead 6-0. Bennett keeps pouring it on. Jonathan Rossi smacks one to deep center, and the fielder can't make the over-the-shoulder catch. Rossi motors into third with a triple. Tamala keeps the rally alive, lining one to center to drive in Rossi. It's 7-0. Siraki sends a sharp grounder to first that can't be handled. Doyle scores, and it's now 8-0 Red Wings. We're still in the 5th here, and are you not entertained? As Sullivan crushes a triple to center, bringing in Siraki. Bennett plates 9 runs in this inning and takes full control at 9-0. With 2 outs in the 6th, Reifenberg caps off a masterclass on the mound with his 13th strikeout of the day. He goes 6 shutout innings, allowing just 2 hits on 93 pitches. Bennett adds 1 more run off a Mendez RBI single to walk it off by mercy rule, 10-0 in 6 innings. The Red Wings advance to Saturday's regional final.
Regional final time for high school baseball as Waubonsie Valley comes in as the underdog, holding the 10th seed while hoping to bring home their 2nd straight regional plaque. They take on 3-seeded West Aurora, who is coming off a come-from-behind semifinal win over Neuqua Valley. We're scoreless in the 2nd inning as Blackhawk pitcher Jake Niederwise shows why with a punch-out to retire the side. West Aurora gets a spark in the 3rd inning. Alessio Lascano hits one through, and that results in ducks on the pond for the Blackhawks. Nick Lampert for the Warriors puts a stop to that by getting a strikeout of his own, and this game remains scoreless after 3. Josh Hung starts the 4th inning with a swing that puts the ball into shallow left field for a single. Hung scores later on to give Waubonsie a 1-0 lead. However, they're just getting started as Nate Sorelli rips this ball way out to deep left field, and it gets down. Danny McGuigan and Ryan Lucas sprint across home plate, and it's 3-0 Warriors. Up next is Seth Nielsen, who takes note from Sorelli because he also pokes one this time into right field, and here comes Sorelli himself for another run. We go to Shane Torres, who puts some firepower on the swing. The ball goes far enough to give Hiroshi Wong the okay to score, and it's a 7-0 lead for the Warriors still in the 4th. Yes, we are still in the 4th, and yes, the Warriors are still hitting. Ryan Lucas tallies 1 of 2 RBIs in this inning. Yes, in this inning. It shows why because the Green and Gold lead 11-0 thanks to an 11-run 4th inning. The rest of the bench comes in for the 5th inning, and players like Chris Lee want to hop in on the hit parade. Two on, and Ryan Quinn brings them in with one of 15 team hits in the ballgame. This performance helps Waubonsie Valley take home another baseball regional title with a 15-0 win over West Aurora. Up next is Lockport in the sectional semifinals.
Canelan High School is the site of Saturday's 3A regional final, yet the visiting Bennett Academy is the number 2 seed and bats second as they try to eliminate the Knights for a 2nd straight year. Gino Zagoric is on the mound for the Red Wings, facing Hayden Foster on the side of Canelan. The winner faces Burlington Central, who knocked out Bennett last season. Gino Zagoric gets to work quick, 2 outs and 2 runners on. He strikes out the shortstop Thomas Hill in just 3 pitches to end the inning. Both pitchers were sharp in the 1st. Here's Hayden Foster striking out Josh Gugora with a runner on second. In the top of the 2nd, the ball here gets past Dom Tamala, and Austin Prius makes a run to 3rd. The tag by Merrick Sullivan is not in time, and Canelan has a runner on 3rd with 1 out. Villanueva is the next batter, and he can't beat the throw to 1st, but his ground ball does the damage. Prius scoots across home, and Canelan lead 1-0 after the top of the 2nd. In the bottom of the 2nd, Tamala bunts. Foster gets to it, but his throw to 1st is too high, and the bases are loaded with no outs. Johnny Rossi up at the plate next. With all the pressure behind him, Foster gets Rossi swinging for out number 1. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and Foster gets Glimko out on the foul tip. Now 2 outs, no damage. Foster pitches the 1-2 to Siraki. Siraki grounds into a force out at second base, and they get the out. Despite 3 men on and no outs, Bennett can't get anything and still trail 1-0. In the top of the 3rd, Zagoric has 2 runners on already, and he hits the DH Ian Wilden to load the bases. The pass ball woes continue for Bennett. This one gets away, and Preston Popovich scores for Canelan. The Knights lead 2-0 after the top of the third. Onto the bottom of the fourth, with one out and Mendez on second, Rossi takes a hat. Cannon Baxley scoops it up, steps on second base, and beats Rossi to first with his throw. The big double play gets the Knights into the fifth, still in control. In the bottom of the fifth, after a Siraki leadoff single, Sullivan hits one off the glove of Foster, and it sneaks through the infield to get runners on first and second with one out. After a walk uses the bags, Gugora hits a ground ball towards third, and Popovich's throw turns into an error. The ball gets away and Siraki scores, and Sullivan comes around as well to tie the game at 2. Bennett have something to celebrate. On the next at-bat, Quinn Rooney steps up and delivers a deep fly ball. The right fielder loses it in the sky, but it doesn't matter. It's about 30 feet over his head and over the fence. Rooney's 3-run shot blows the door open for Bennett. They take a 5-2 lead into the 6th inning. A big-time swing for the Red Wings. Luke Kohlmeyer takes over for Zagoric in the 6th, and he strikes out his first batter of the day. Yet he doesn't get out too easy, as Villanueva's hit trickles down the infield, allowing him to beat the throw to first. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. The wild pitch woes continue for Bennett, as this one gets away and allows Brady Allstott to score. 5-3 Red Wings. Kohlmeyer looks to avoid any more damage, and this pitch is right on the bottom of the umpire's zone. The Canelan player is punched out, much to his dismay, but that's the end of the inning. In the top of the 7th, it's still 5-3. Baxley lines one hard towards the first baseman, and Rooney dives for the athletic play. The first out of the inning is secured, and the sophomore makes another massive play for Bennett, just 2 outs away from a regional title. After a Popovich groundout, the DH Wilden refuses to not have an impact on this inning. His double skips off the wall and gets Canelan some hope with the tying run coming onto the plate. Allstott sees a 1-2 and he makes contact. The ball gets past Siraki and into the outfield. Wilden comes around home and Canelan stay alive with 2 outs on the board. Bennett lead 5-4. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Phil, who pops it up. One catch stands in the way of a regional title, and Luke Wilds calmly makes the play. Bennett win the game 5-4 in a hard-fought battle, scoring all of their runs in the 5th. The win goes to Zagoric and his 6 strikeouts, with Kohlmeyer nabbing the save. Bennett will face Burlington Central on Wednesday in the sectional semifinal.
The number 7 seed Naperville Central Softball takes on number 10 West Aurora a day after being rained out, with the Redhawks playing host. The Redhawks had won 5 straight before falling in a doubleheader to Oswego East on Saturday. West Aurora is looking to bounce back after their 4-2 loss against Larkin. In the bottom of the first, following hits from Riley Silvers and Kaylee Lenz, Central's Shia Meach singles on a pop fly towards left field to load the bases for the Redhawks. Natalie Lau is up next, but she grounds into a double play as West Aurora gets Callie Lenz trying to advance to third and Lau at first to escape the jam. Looking to get things started in the top of the second, West Aurora's Bella Doyle doubles on a fly ball into center field. After an Alyssa Falcone single and a Nevaeh Keys strikeout, Natalie Barbosa launches out to center field. Courtesy runner Lila Hopkins and Falcone bring home the first runs of the game as the Blackhawks lead 2-0. The Blackhawks continue to find success as Sarah Tarr doubles on a line drive towards center field, as Barbosa reaches home plate to extend the lead to 3-0 after 2 innings. Avery Miller pitching for the Redhawks after allowing a leadoff triple to Bella Marzullo and Macy Spenny hitting for West Aurora. Spenny grounds into a double play as Miller gets the out at first. Jamie Saran throws home to catcher Riley Silvers, who gets the tag on Marzullo at the plate for the double play. In the bottom of the 5th, Riley Silvers looks to build momentum for the Redhawks. Silvers doubles on a line drive towards center field. Moments later, Callie Lenz singles on a pop fly as Silvers gets Central on the board. The Redhawks trail 3-1 heading into the 6th. Central's Avery Hayward starts the bottom of the 6th with a single on a line drive towards third base. Runners on first and second for the Redhawks after a walk from Lacey Williams. Fiona Brown doubles and a fly ball to right field as Avery Hayward and courtesy runner Avery Miller meet at home plate to tie the game 3-3. Later in the inning, Silvers drives a sacrifice fly to deep left field. Brown races home before the ball reaches home plate to put Naperville Central in front for the first time. The Redhawks lead 4-3 entering the final inning. After getting the first out of the 7th, Sarah Tarr draws a walk from Miller and steals second. Kiara Hayton keeps the hope alive for the Blackhawks with this pop fly single towards left field. Tarr reaches home plate to tie the game at 4-4. Miller then gets Del Toro on a lineout to second baseman Meredith Can. With 2 outs, Macy Spanny hits a ground ball toward right field and reaches first on an error. Hayton scores to retake the lead for West Aurora 5-4 going into the bottom of the 7th. Down to their final out, Avery Hayward singles for the Redhawks to put the tying run on base. Hoping to keep the season alive, Lacey Williams grounds into fielder's choice as Hayward is out at second base as Tarr makes the play to end the game. West Aurora gets the intense win over Naperville Central 5-4.
The time has come for the softball regionals as Bennett Academy takes the field holding the 8th seed. Argo is their first round opponent, who comes in losing their last 3 out of 5 games. The Argonauts take that first swing with Jocelyn Pacheco, whose base hit bounces into shallow center for a single. A couple of batters later, Abby Grenier hits a ground ball, allowing Pacheco to turn the corner, and she beats the throw just in time to give the Argonauts a 1-0 lead. That one run is enough for pitcher Sophie Rosner, who gets a punch-out on Juliana Vargas. Still 1-0 in the 3rd inning, but Mary Kate Ritterbusch hopes to get a spark going for the Red Wings with this hit. Good things tend to happen with the Rosners on the field. Here's Laney up to bat, and her chopper bounces off the fielder's glove, which gives Ritterbusch the green light to score and knot the game up at 1. Next is her partner in crime, Sophie, who rips a liner just into fair territory. Pinch runner Olivia O'Pollux runs into your frame and scores to give Bennett a 2-1 lead through 3 innings. Gabby Vasquez hopes to bring the Argonauts back in it, but her fly ball lands into Ritterbusch's glove for out number 3. Here's Bella Iovanelli at the plate. She rips this hit out to left center, and goodbye with a kiss on the scoreboard. Iovanelli with a solo moonshot to extend BA's lead to 3-1 after 4 innings. The infield stays in check as Lainey Rosner throws a dart to Esther Rossi at second base to nab the base runner. Back to Iovanelli, and is she going yard again? That ball is going. Goodbye again. Bella Iovanelli with another dinger to secure the regional semifinal win for the Red Wings. They move on to the regional final, where they'll face the top-seeded Marist. Another year, another softball regional final appearance for Bennett Academy as the Red Wings lace up and take the field, searching for their 5th straight plaque. The task will be challenging as the Red Wings take on state powerhouse in Marist. The Redhawks look to dance through the postseason after a 4A runner-up finish last season. Red Wings are the visitors on the scoreboard, so they're up first. Lady Reisner's chopper bounces off the third baseman's glove and makes it to first base safely. Bats come alive for Marist as Maddie Rogers hits a ground ball to shallow center, resulting in a single. She scores later in the inning to give her team a 1-0 lead. 2 on with Lexi Kairos up, and she rips a liner to left, giving Maribel Blackburn and Ellie Holstrom the okay to score. They tally one more run to lead 4-0 after the first. Here's Bree Hannick up. She destroys this hit out to left, and goodbye. A 2-run dinger for Hannick extends the Red Hawks lead to 6-0. Back to Hannick in the 4th inning with this crusher out to center, and goodbye again for good. 2 bombs in the game for Hannick to make it a 7-0 lead for Marist. Red Hawks show their skills in the field as Mary Fortner makes an excellent catch for out number 3. In the 6th, the Marist bats stay hot. Lexi Cairo smacks her hit way out there, and hasta la vista! That dinger all but wraps up the regional final for Marist as they take it 10-0 after 6, thanks to the run rule. The Red Hawks will move on to their own sectional, where they'll face Riverside Brookfield in the semifinals.
Neuqua Valley Boys Lacrosse and the Bennett girls team always seem to make it deep into the postseason. Let's see how they're doing this spring when we come back after the break.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
Local news is your lifeline. Let the Daily Herald help you navigate your world with solid reporting, good advice, and a much-needed diversion or two.
Welcome back to Boys Lacrosse playoff action. We're at the sectional semifinals as the top-seeded Neuqua Valley Wildcats take on the Oak Forest Bengals. Oak Forest enters after a 14-7 win over Lockport, while Neuqua cruised past Normal Community 18-3. A spot in the sectional final against Andrew High School is on the line. Right from the face-off, Neuqua's Ben Stefanski wastes no time. He wins possession and races all the way in to score the opening goal of the semifinals. Oak Forest responds quickly. Sean Powers wins the face-off and mirrors Stefanski's effort with a goal of his own. It's tied 1-1 just 30 seconds in. The Wildcats strike right back. Grant Randolph finds Jonah Frank for his first goal of the night. It puts Neuqua back in front. The Wildcats keep up the pressure. After some smooth ball movement, Randolph connects with Frank again, and just like that, Neuqua goes up 3-1 with 3 minutes left in the quarter. Oak Forest tries to answer with an open net chance, but a costly turnover gives the ball to Frank, who capitalizes for his 3rd goal of the game. That's a first quarter hat trick. Neuqua continues to pour it on. Gavin Ostendorf sets up Stefanski, who scores again to make it 5-1 at the end of the first quarter. Second quarter, same story. Stefanski wins yet another face-off and quickly completes his own hat trick. It sparks a big run for the Wildcats. Oak Forest finally breaks the drought. David Trumbull finds Owen O'Brien for their first goal since the game's opening moments. With just 2 seconds left, Stefanski strikes again. A buzzer-beater goal caps off the first half as Neuqua takes an 11-3 lead into the break. It's the Ostendorf connection, Gavin to Jonathan for yet another Wildcat tally. Neuqua leads 12-3 and shows no signs of slowing. Oak Forest looks for one last push, but Neuqua's defense holds firm. Owen Barth shuts the door and the Wildcats close it out with a dominant 19-3 win. Neuqua Valley advances to the sectional championship while they'll face second-seeded and host Andrew High School with a trip to the Super Sectional on the line.
Welcome back to Girls Lacrosse playoff action taking place on the evening of Memorial Day. This second round matchup has the 8th seeded St. Francis Spartans taking on the number 1 seeded Bennett Academy Red Wings. The Spartans are coming off an 8-3 victory over Neuqua Valley and look for an upset. The Red Wings come in with an undefeated record in the ESCC at 4-0 and look to advance to the sectional semis with a win. Off the face-off, both teams struggle to get control of the ball until Gigi Korelko scoops it up and takes on the defense before finding the back of the net. Bennett goes up 1-0 30 seconds into the game. The Spartans attempt to shut down the Bennett scoring attack, but commit a foul. On the penalty shot, it's Tiara Hammock who puts in her first goal of the game. The Red Wing offense looks to keep the attack going as Iana Pavlis locates Madison Timmons before she finds the back of the net for another Red Wing goal. Following a quick goal from Claire O'Brien, she attempts to score again, however it's denied by Claire Backelder. Bennett still leads 4-0. As the first quarter comes to a close, Hammock and Timmons connect with quick goals as Bennett leads 6-0 at the end of the first. After another Red Wing goal, the Spartans look for some offense, but are shut down by Annie early as Bennett leads 7-0 early in the second quarter. The Spartans look to get a stop on defense, but commit another foul on Timmons. Timmons on the penalty shot, and it's good as the Red Wing offense continues to roll. Part of that big scoring run is Gigi Korelko as she takes on multiple Spartan defenders before she lays out her body for the goal as Bennett holds a commanding 13-0 lead at halftime. Coming out of the break, Korelko looks to pick up where she left off, scoring the opening points of the third, assisted by her teammate, Madeline Trapp. The Spartan offense looks for some points and finally finds the back of the Red Wing net as Natalie Passato scores. On the play, Korelko comes down hard, but she's able to get back up as Bennett Academy glides by St. Francis 19-2. The Wings will face St. Charles on Wednesday at Downers Grove North in the sectional semifinals.
It's a clear evening at Downers Grove North, and the sectional championship is on the line. Top-seeded Bennett Academy travels to take on the second-seeded Trojans on their home turf. Just 50 seconds in, Downers Grove North strikes first. Gianna Kropivko finds Ashley Poquette, who dishes it to Ella Williams. She cuts inside and fires it low into the corner. 1-0 Trojans. Bennett responds quickly. Senior superstar Gigi Korelko, who just topped 300 career goals, lines up the penalty restart. Stick high, shot low, she buries it, all tied up at 1. After a Poquette penalty restart goal puts the Trojans back ahead, Bennett answers again. Claire O'Brien feeds Madison Timmons, and she teams up with Madeline Trapp for a textbook give and go. It's 2-2. Ella Williams bounces in her second of the game to put DGN back in front. Then Emma Enright steps up for the penalty restart and goes topside. Trojans up 4-2 with back-to-back goals. In the second, Bennett moves it around the horn. O'Brien to Hammock to Maggie Ronick, who feeds Trapp. She fakes out the defender and scores. We're tied again, this time at 4. Freshman goalie Annie Early launches it to Claire O'Brien, who sprints 70 yards. She then links up with Timmons, and the duo recreates the give and go. This time Trapp finishes it. Bennett takes its first lead 5-4. Kropivko converts the penalty restart with a low bounce shot to tie it at 5. Then Ella Cho finds Poquette, who cuts perfectly and finishes. DGN's back in front by 2. With 30 seconds left in the half, Timmons and Trapp work the offense, and Timmons connects with Korelko, who gets tripped but still scores up high for her second. At the break, DGN leads 7-6. Opening the third, Korelko keeps it going. She sprints in and scores her third, hat trick complete. We're tied again, 7-7. Off the draw, O'Brien goes coast to coast again. Trap to Timmons, and Bennett retakes the lead. Moments later, Karelko gets tripped again near the 8-meter. Deja vu, she scores off the penalty restart for her 4th of the game. Red Wings up by 2. But DGN digs in. Williams connects with Poquette, who scores her 3rd, and the Trojans are down by 1. Then it's Poquette to Williams, who rockets in the equalizer. Same setup, same result. Poquette finds Williams again, and she delivers back-to-back goals and a hat trick of her own. Trojans take the lead heading to the 4th, up 10-9. In the final frame, DGN looks to seal it. Alexandra Kellum and Williams move it up top, and Poquette sneaks in behind. Her 4th goal bounces into the lower right corner. Downers Grove North holds strong and defeats Bennett Academy 12-9. The Trojans move on to the Super Sectionals, where they'll face Crystal Lake Central at the College of DuPage on Tuesday at 5 p.m. It's the regional final in boys lacrosse. Top-seeded Neuqua Valley takes on the number 2 seed, the Andrew Co-op Thunderbolts. The Bolts are coming off a tight 7-6 win over Lincoln Way, while the Wildcats look to defend their sectional crown and go back-to-back. Neuqua starts fast. Grant Randolph connects with Jonah Frank, who puts a slick move on the Thunderbolt defense and buries the 1st goal of the night. The Wildcats stay hot. Quick ball movement leads to Mason Rathel scoring off an assist from Frank. Neuqua's up 2-0 just 2 minutes in. Jonah Frank stays dialed in. Jonathan Ostendorf finds him near the crease, and another finish for Frank, who's eyeing another hat trick. The Thunderbolts look to get away from their own goal, but they run into Frank, who causes a turnover before he connects with the back of the goal. He secures the hat trick, and the Wildcats lead 4-0. Andrew Sean Walsh gets a look, but Neuqua goalie Owen Barth is a brick wall, denying the Thunderbolts their 1st goal. Before the quarter ends, Ostendorf closes it out in style. Back-to-back goals, including the slick behind-the-back finish. Neuqua dominates the 1st as they lead 8-0. Ostendorf opens the 2nd with another. He joins the hat trick club, pushing the lead to 9. Off the face-off, Ben Stefanski wins it clean, charges ahead, and scores. That sparks a massive Wildcat scoring run in the 2nd. Frank continues to dazzle. He strips the Thunderbolt player of his stick, scoops the ground ball, and takes it coast to coast. His 7th goal of the night, and Neuqua's up 16-0 at the half. To start the 3rd, Andrews' Brady Pasaric gets a shot off, but Barth holds strong. Moments later, Walsh finally breaks through, scoring Andrews' 1st of the night. But Frank answers right back. Stefanski finds him for his 11th goal, tying the Neuqua single-game goal record. And he doesn't stop there. One more for Jonah Frank, who breaks the school record with 12 goals on the night. Neuqua dominates from start to finish, a 21-7 win, and back-to-back sectional titles. The Wildcats advance to the Super Sectional, where they'll face Lyons Township on June 3rd at 7 p.m. in Lockport. It's a rematch from April, where Lyons won 8-7. Mattia Valley softball took on East Aurora in the regional quarterfinals, where Charlie Benish needed one more win to become the winningest pitcher ever for Mattia Valley. Benish was unanimously selected to first team All-DVC, and she shows why in this playoff game. The Mustang ace records 8 strikeouts as the Mustangs easily defeat the Tomcats 17-1 in just 4 innings. Benish becomes the Mustang all-time win leader with 32 across her career. East Aurora Oswego recorded just one hit, which came in the final inning. A great way for Benesh to enter time with Mattia softball. Let's close out the show with some boys volleyball coverage as our teams look to bring home regional championships before sectional play.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO.
The import tariff is here, but at Fair Oaks Ford, we'll help you beat the tariff with a large selection of American-made in-stock vehicles right now. For a limited time, lock in pre-tariff pricing on select new Ford models and save thousands. From America, for America. And right now, we're offering employee pricing for all. You pay what we pay. Now that's what we call fair. Don't miss your chance to beat the tariff at Fair Oaks Ford in Naperville.
Neuqua Valley took on Andrew Co-op in the Boys Lacrosse Sectional Final, where Jonah Frank left no doubt about the Wildcats securing a second consecutive sectional title. Frank breaks the Wildcats single-game goal-scoring record, which was previously held by his former teammate Kerry George with 11. The Wildcats made it look easy against the Co-op, and Frank was a major part of that with his 12 goals. Watch some of his tallies as the Wildcats advance to the Super Sectional for a 7th time in 8 years. They take on Lyons Township with a spot in the state semifinals on the line.
The number 5 seed Oswego Panthers host the 3-seeded Bennett Academy Red Wings for the regional championship of the IHSA Boys Volleyball Playoffs. Bennett is in search of its first regional title since 2018 after a win over Oswego East in the regional semis. The Red Wings strike first as Eris Maroukas scores his first kill of the night to gain a 1-0 lead. Oswego would respond as this game is tied after a big kill from Peter Barnes to even the game at 4-4. The Red Wings would continue their attack as Matthew Swiatkowski gets up for his kill off the Jacob Olenek assist to give them a 5-4 lead. The game continues to be close in the early going as Jean Bacardo scores his first point of the night for the Panthers. Later in the set, George Victory scores one in for the Panthers as his kill deflects off the Bennett defense. This game is deadlocked at 9-9. Gian Bacardo would continue the hot streak as he gets his second kill. The Panthers trail 12-11. The Red Wings would respond as Reed Heffley and Shane Walsh provide a mean block to deny the Panthers a score. A few plays later, Heffley gets up once again for the stuff at the net. The Red Wings begin to pull away. George Victory scores again with another kill to try to bring his team back into the game. Nearing set point, Bennett scrambles to keep the ball alive with some nice saves from Maroukas and Vincent Cabay. Cabay gets back to his feet and powers a kill through the Panther defense for the point. Up 24-20, Maroukas slams home an ace as the Panthers are unable to make a return. Bennett wins the first set 25-20. As we move into the second set, Panthers hitter Will Munsinger would make his first kill to tie the game at 1-1. Bennett would respond as Maroukas adds a kill off a Heffley assist to extend the team's lead to 4 as Bennett leads 11-7. Reed Heffley would continue his block party as Bennett expands the lead to 14-8. Things begin to unravel for the Panthers as Ryan Peacock sets up Vincent Cabay, who finds the open floor as the Red Wings now lead 17-10. The Red Wings eventually close out the game as Oswego goes for the kill to stay alive. Olenek and Walsh get up for the block as Bennett wins the second set 25-14 over Oswego. The Red Wings take home their first regional plaque since 2018 as they advance to the sectional semifinals to face Plainfield South on Saturday at Hinsdale South.
Welcome back to some boys volleyball action. Tonight's regional final features the 6th-seeded Neuqua Valley facing off against the 4th-seeded Bolingbrook. These two teams are familiar with each other as they faced off back in April, with Neuqua taking a 3-set victory. The Raiders and Wildcats trade point for point in the first set until Daniel Kaduthodli connects with Edison Ayo for the kill, and that gives the Raiders a 4-2 lead in set 1. After a miscue from the Raiders, the Wildcats have possession until Kaduthodli puts it back over, keeping the score attack open for the Raider offense. Ayo keeps the scoring going as he picks up an ace. The Wildcats look for some momentum as the two engage with an intense rally before Daruva Jotsti connects with Blake Thompson for the kill, and the Wildcats trail 10-6. Thompson continues to give the Wildcats momentum as he connects with back-to-back aces, and that sparks a scoring run. The Raiders don't appreciate all the scoring and look for a kill of their own. However, Chase Martson and Liam Mitchell are there for the block attempt. Martson doesn't stop there as the Raiders attempt a kill for their own, but it's shut down before Jotsti connects with Mortson for another kill, and that gives the Wildcats a 15-16 lead, their first of the night. Set point on the line as the Wildcats are in full control. The Raiders give it their all on an intense rally before Wildcat Vishwak Namareddy puts it away with the kill, and Neuqua takes set 1, 25-23. Set 2 is like the first as both teams exchange point for point until Ayo connects with the kill, and the Raiders take a 6-4 lead. The Raider offense looks to stay in flow as Kaduthodli lands an ace. Kaduthodli looks to keep the momentum going off the serve, but Jotsi connects with Thompson on the kill, but the Raiders still hold a 9-8 lead. The Wildcats look to find some energy through set 2 as they connect with Noah Cullen for a point. The Cats look to keep momentum going, but Kaduthodli is there to set up Trevor Wardlow for the kill, and that sparks a scoring run for the Raiders, and they take set 2, 25-22. The final set is underway, and Martson starts it off with authority, with the first kill of the final set, setting the tone for the Wildcat offense. Neuqua locates Martson for the kill, but it's denied. However, Cullen is there for the putback. The Raiders look to get something going in the final set, as the two engage in another intense rally, refusing to let up a point until the Raiders are met at the net by Martson and Mitchell, as the Wildcats hold a commanding 15-11 lead. Match point on the line for the Raiders as they serve, but it comes up short. Neuqua Valley takes down Bolingbrook in 3 sets to capture the regional championship. The Wildcats move on to the sectional semifinal, where they'll face the top-seeded in Glenbard West on Saturday at 1 p.m. at Hinsdale South.
Both Bennett and Neuqua fell in the sectional semifinals, with the Wildcats falling in 2 sets to Glenbard West and the Red Wings in 3 sets to Plainfield South. That concludes this week's episode of Naperville Sports Weekly. We have 4 teams still alive in the postseason and just one more episode left before the award show on June 16th. You can find all our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. You can also find us across all social media platforms at NCTV17. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and we'll see you again next week.